Our idea of square roots, well, they've been around with us for a very long time. Imagine if we have a square with side 1. Well, what's the distance of the diagonal, the distance between the corners? Well, we can use our Pythagorean theorem that says one side squared plus the other side squared equals the hypotenuse squared. If the sides are 1, this becomes 1 squared plus 1 squared equals c squared. 1 squared is 1 plus 1, that makes it 2 equals the c squared. And then what number do we get in this particular case? What number times itself makes it 2? We have to do something with that. And we discovered that that became what we call a square root of 2. So the distance in a normal everyday square, embedded within that is this idea of a square root. Now you can imagine if we can see square roots embedded in ordinary everyday objects or things that we're used to, we can assume then there's going to be square roots over lots of parts of our universe. So because of that, it would probably behoove us to learn a little bit more about them and to get used to them. We remembered from earlier that if we had like a number 5 and we squared it, that produced a number 25. Likewise, if I had the entire negative 5 squared, well, that also equaled a 25. So we can take a number and square it, so we can take a number and undo it, take the square root of it. So what number times itself makes a 25? We would say 5. What number, but there's another one. There's another number times itself that also makes a 25, which would be a negative 5. So if we saw something written in that form, that's telling us what's a number times itself that produces a number inside. And that would equal a 5. That would give us a positive value. The number inside is called a radicand. The little mark is called the radical. We're going to be looking at these as we explore how to work with and deal with things in square root forms. Now notice earlier I said that negative 5, if we square that, also produces a 25. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But for right now, as we're getting the hang of things, we're just going to deal with the positive values of these. We'll save the negatives for later.